I know it's been a while since the first one, but today's video is going to be the second installment in my DMR or Designated Marksman Rifle series. The first one was about the foundational rifle, my Midwest Industries 308. This installment number 2, episode 2, whatever you want to call it, we're going to install an optic on here. We're going to use this Gunnr 2x12x44 variable power first focal plane scope. I think that's obviously the next thing going to some way to aim this thing. I've got a lot of other stuff to go on this build we might talk about at the end of this video, but today I want to focus on mounting this scope on here, tell you why I selected this particular scope, and show you a little cool tool that I bought to maybe help simplify the process of getting all this stuff aligned properly. So stick around, that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's video, where, as I said, it's going to be installment number 2 of the DMR Designated Marksman Rifle series. And we're going to be installing this Gunnr Thor 2x12x44mm variable power first focal plane scope. But first, as usual, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. Today's wisdom is from the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 17 in the NLT. Interfering in someone else's argument is as foolish as yanking a dog's ears. There you go. And, of course, a big thank you to my friends at Hog Holsters for being the longest running channel sponsor here at Survival on Purpose. Hog Holsters makes the holster that I've carried every day since 2016, I think, maybe 2015. They are the most comfortable, most concealable holster I've ever carried, ever tried. They're 100% made in the USA, and every holster is specifically crafted to fit your specific pistol model. No one size fits all. So that's Hog Holsters, helping Americans wear guns. Thanks to John at Hog Holsters for not only being a channel sponsor, but a friend. Now, real briefly, let me just recap the whole DMR thing and why I decided to do that, and then we'll talk about the scope and why I decided to pick it and show you how I'm planning to install it. So I've had this Midwest 308, as I said in the first video, for a couple of years, and I really hadn't had a chance to do much with it. So I thought it'd be good to set it up for kind of an all-around rifle. And in my opinion, that's kind of what a DMR is. It's designed to allow you to be able to have an effective caliber out at longer ranges, maybe out to 1,000 yards even with a 308. That's pushing it. And also have some up-close capability. So that's kind of why I chose the 2x12, because the lowest power, the 2-power setting, gives me less really than an ACOG, so that's going to help me see up closer probably. And also I'm going to have some backup sights on it. But then the 12-power is high enough power to allow me to make some longer range shots and be able to see what's going on. So that's kind of why I went with that particular power. And I say I chose it because the folks at Gunnr reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to review one of their new Thor series scopes. And they had several different magnification levels. They had some higher ones than this, a lot higher ones than this, I think. I chose this one for the reasons I just said, and so they were kind enough to send it to me so I can test it out, and that's what we're going to do here. So without further ado, I'm probably going to bring you a little bit closer in here, and we'll talk about the features, and then we'll mount it, and I'll show you this cool little new tool I bought. All right, let's talk about the 3 F's, the facts, features, and functions of this Gunnr Thor 2x12x44 rifle scope. First of all, first impressions, this thing looks and feels like a quality piece of gear. The fit and finish is good on it. All the controls are smooth, and they do what you expect them to do. So that's a good sign right off the bat. As far as construction goes, this thing is made of 7075 aluminum alloy. It features multi-layer coated German shot ED glass, extra low dispersion glass. Has a 44mm objective lens diameter, a tube diameter of 34mm. This one is an MRAD reticle and turrets. It's also available in MOA. It's 2x12 magnification. Locking turrets, 0 stop, and a revolution indicator. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. First focal plane, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Is again 2x12 magnification with a field of view at 100 yards of 61.2 feet at 2 magnification and 10.2 at 12 power. 3.9 inches of eye relief, adjustable brightness on the illuminated reticle of 11 levels of adjustable brightness, 6-hour auto shutoff, and 5,000 hour battery life on the lowest power. IPX7 waterproof rating and 1,000 G's shockproof. The net weight is 27 ounces and the length is 12.4 inches, and the MSRP is $460 and $45 for the cantilever mount. So that's all the specs as quickly and rambling free as I can make them. Let's talk about the function now. First of all, as I said, this is a first focal plane scope. That means, if you're not familiar with that, when you change the magnification levels, the reticle size changes with you. So any increments etched onto the reticle are going to be accurate at whatever magnification you have. Again, as I said, this is an MRAD reticle, a mil reticle. I'll try to show you some through the lens footage here, but it's going to be sketchy because I was just using an iPhone. I've got a better solution on the way, but it's not here yet, so we're going to dance with what we got. The diopter lens, which is your eye adjustment. If you're not familiar with that, you use this to focus in the reticle to your eye. Once you get it set, you shouldn't have to fool with it anymore. I just like to put a little witness mark on there so I know it hadn't been bumped. The turrets, these are also MRAD turrets, mil turrets, so they're, as I said, locking turrets. Every click is 0.1 mil or 1/10 of an MRAD. And the total adjustment range on the windage is 14.5 MRADs. I counted 16 each way, so a little more than they said, but you got 14 mils of adjustment going left or right. And then the elevation adjustment, they said is 65 mils, which I split that in half, is 32.5. I came up with 29.5 going elevation up. And as I said, it has a locking turret, so that means you pull them up, adjust them, and put them down, they won't move. This one also has a zero stop, so you turn it back to zero, and it actually goes one notch past, which I like, and then you can stop it. If you remember the Heimdall scope we looked at from Gunnr, their zero stop prevented this thing from going more than one revolution. So you were unable to take advantage of the full range of elevation with the zero stop in. This one solved that problem. Also, it has an indicator on top here that if you go past one full revolution, like to here, it pulls up a little tab right up here that you can see a little, your one revolution. You go another revolution, and it pulls up a little higher. You can see some silver at the bottom of it. If you go the other revolution, which is as far as I can go, it's not quite a full revolution. It's even higher, and you see more silver. So that is a good idea. Not as critical if you have a good zero stop, because your zero stop is going to catch you. You won't have to really count how many revolutions you went, but it does allow you to know if you got to go back down, only one or something like that. On the other side, the battery for your illuminated reticles in here, it is a CR2032. Again, your reticle, your illumination adjustments here. You have numbers and dots. If you go to the numbers, you have your level, and the dots actually between there, turn it off. So you don't have to turn it all the way on, all the way around to go on or off. You just turn it one click and it's going to be off or on. And then your focus here for your target focus is here, your parallax. One thing I will say, it comes with this kind of cheesy lens protector, which might be okay for like transporting and traveling. Not that great in the field. I don't like these things, but that's what we got. So it also comes with a couple little tools that you might need to adjust stuff. This is a tool to take the cap off. If you want to adjust your zero stop, that's how you do it. So okay, so let's see if we can get this thing mounted now. So if you notice, I've got the caps off on the cantilever mount. I'm going to try something a little bit different that I saw in a video. It made good sense to me. So we're going to do something called wet mounting, and the way you do that is you just put a couple drops of oil, and I'm just using this Hoppy's lubricant on here. Just one drop will probably do it on the rings, one there, and just lubricate that in there. You don't need much in it. Probably one drop is probably more than enough. Let's get that part lubricated, and then same thing with the inside of your caps. Kind of get that lubricated as well. The theory behind this is, what this is supposed to do is kind of help this thing have a little bit ability to not be pulled one way or another when you tighten these things down. So we're just going to set this in here and kind of in the center, obviously, and put the caps on it loosely. I just want them on there where this thing won't fall off. That's all I'm trying to do. So let's get a couple screws in here. Okay, now that I've got that there, the next step is going to be, I'm going to try to get this thing set up where I have the proper eye relief. And I know from a previous test of this thing, I think this is going to be about right. So I'm going to go ahead and just tighten this cantilever mount down just a little bit. because I don't want to drop the scope when I'm testing it. So it's on there now, and I want to just see if this is going to how this is going to do for my hour leaf. And really, what I'm looking for is a wide, clear, big, clear picture with no fuzz around it. And I've got that here. Now I'm going to take my glasses off and try it, because very often I wind up shooting scopes without my glasses because they interfere. So I'm really good right here. I like that. I like this far enough away. I don't have to worry about scope bite, but I can see a really clear picture. So we're going to call that mounting position correct. Now, let's see if I can get this thing back in here and level it back up now. Okay, so I've got my rail leveled front to back, which that's not 100% necessary, but it certainly is not going to hurt anything. And then let's show you the next cool little tool I've got here. I bought this from Vortex. It's a pro leveling kit. And I think I got this on Midway. I don't think it was very expensive, but so, and it comes with these 3 little levels, 2 levels actually, in a little kit. So what you do is, the idea is you set this level, your reference level, on the Picatinny rail, and then you clip this one on the Picatinny rail like so. So I know that's not perfect because you can see the bubble in this one. You can't really see it in here, but I'll try to turn it where you can. So we're going to need to turn this thing where it comes a little twisted that way until this one is level. So the reference one is level. And then you're going to take a look at the other one and make sure it's level. And it's not, so there's some adjustment that has to be done. They give you a little Allen wrench here to do it. And so if this one's level, it's centered between the lines, and this one's not, then you're going to want to adjust this one. Maybe no, wrong way, Brian. Loosen the one on the low side and tighten the high side down. So I know you couldn't, I was probably blocking your view, but now this one, this bubble's centered between the lines here, if you can see that. Hopefully you can see a little bit of it there, and as is this one. So that means everything is as it needs to be now. Now you leave this one where it is. It's already clamped on. Now the rifle is level. Now we want to level the scope. So I've got it on top of the flattest thing I can find, which is the top of the turret. And we're going to turn this thing to where it is centered, where the bubble is centered. Hopefully you can see that. The next step is going to be to go ahead and start tightening the screws just to get them snug, where it's not moving once we get this thing level. Go kind of catty-cornered. It's like you used to do for your tires. I can see we've already come out of level just a little bit, looks like. So we're going to twist this thing just a little bit more. And that's pretty close to center right there. So let's go ahead and tighten these things up. And I'm not torquing them yet. I'm just getting them hand tight, but finger tight, but pretty finger tight. I don't want this thing moving. So that level there, you can see the bubbles right in the middle. And now this one, the bubble's also in the middle. That means the scope is level with the gun. Okay, so scope is mounted. Everything is reasonably hand tight, a little bit tighter than hand tight. All that's left to do as far as the mounting goes is to do the painstaking process of pulling each screw separately, one at a time, Loctiting it and putting it back in. And then once that's all done, all 11 screws, then getting the Fix-It Sticks torque wrench out and torquing everything to the specified torque range. This is 20 foot-pound inches, and these are whatever it says on there, 30. So again, one at a time. So that'll take care of this thing. Will be mounted, and it's a good idea to put some, maybe you get a dab of paint and put some witness marks on some of them to make sure you can see at a glance if they've moved. But that's it for the mounting. So all that's left really is to sight this thing in. We're not going to do that in this video. I'm going to kind of wait till I get the rest of the thing built. Going to change the trigger. I've got one of the Midwest Industries 3.5 pound triggers to go in here. They're enhanced trigger. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put a silencer on it. I'm going to put a bipod on it. I've got some excess offset angle sights. I'm going to put those on there. And I'm not really sure what else we'll do to it. There's not a whole lot left to do to it. I just want to make this thing as effective as possible. So stick around, stay tuned. Those videos will be coming up soon. And yeah, that's the installment 2 of the Designated Marksman Rifle, or DMR series here at Survival on Purpose. I hope this video has been helpful. I really think the little Vortex thing here, and this is not very expensive. The Pro Leveling Kit was a great little deal. I bought it. They did send me the scope. So I am also, by the way, One of the other reasons I don't want to take this to the range yet, I've got a trigger cam on the way, something that mounts on the scope, and I can actually get some really good footage through the scope of that thing. So it's kind of what the pros use. I finally got one on the way, so when it gets here, we'll do some through the scope shooting actually and show you that. But just wanted to kind of give you this second installment, and stay tuned for the next one. I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.